verbiage.
It's so hard to describe. I mean, we're trying to discuss creation, right? I mean, like, what word am I even supposed to use there? I've tried so hard not to use words like God and certain words like so stigma behind them, you know. But it's like, I've had to define my own words. I defined the word space preparation. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the concept. It's a theory, the theory of space preparation. How empty space prepares itself before matter can even manifest within it. To go off that, I had to define the light state, which I don't know if it's the same light state theory that Pius has now put out in his patents and stuff, but right. I had light state theory written out in my first book, Your Influence in Space, and it was on display at the Air and Space Museum in 2014. And that's the book that the guy from Bullet Technologies bought 20 copies of. So I know that I independently made light state theory. It might already exist within the literature, is all I'm going to say, because discoveries happen simultaneously across the globe. So someone else might have come up with that, and he might have heard it from somewhere else. But then to go off that, like the crystal concept, the human consciousness all being one crystal, I feel like when I speak about this stuff, sometimes people are like, you know who you sound like right now? And they're like, the Maharishi, or Deepak Chopra, or like the Bhasham Tov. So it seems like it really does tie back into like mysticism of, you know, in some sort, but also where science is going right now too, which is super fascinating to me. I mean,
dude, this is what fascinates me, even as someone who's like, you know, not really that scientifically literate. It just seems to me that the most ancient teachings that have been kind of echoed throughout history, which are usually very basic things like we're all one, we're all connected, all things are love, etc., etc. This is where science is now starting to get, you know, the spirit and the science are getting closer and closer. And my God, I really want to know what happens when they combine properly.
And that's where I'm at right now. Is the book I'm writing is called Mind, the Shifter, the Organizer of Nodes. And I've come to a point where I think I came across the foundation of prayer. It's like, wait, is this how prayer actually works physically?
Go on then, break that down real quick.
Oh man, okay. The easiest way to think of it is we only experience the waking universe, right? Our physical reality. We only experience that when we're in an alpha, beta, and slow gamma state of consciousness. When you map out the circadian rhythm, we all have our own circadian rhythms, but a circadian rhythm of a human that is properly tuned to Earth follows this pattern. Basically, we'll start from midnight. At midnight, you're in your delta waves. At 2:30 in the morning, you hit the theta field. At about 6 a.m., you hit the alpha field. And then at about 8 or 9 a.m., you start switching between alpha and beta. But then again, you go back into alpha towards the end, and then you hit theta again around 10:30 p.m., and then back into delta. Point being is that each one of those harmonics, all those resonances, occur at specific distances away from the center of time, based off of that dimension of conscious density. And so what you notice is that our center of influence, meaning our perception, hits theta at 10:30 at night. That's a different realm. That's like literally the incoming energy of our next days. Because if energy is in a black hole, it spirals to the center.
Right.
And if we're only awake and perceiving reality in alpha, beta, and slow gamma, that's inside here. But delta and theta are out here. So the energy of our wake state hits delta, theta, and then comes into alpha, beta, slow gamma. As far as our quantum conscious ability to interact with these fields. So quite literally, our dream state energy affects the energy of creation before it hits our wake state. And so there's specific times when we hit certain fields. So 10:30 at night, we're tucking into the theta field. 2:30 at morning, we're breaking through that theta field again. And so it's like, is that the witching hour? Is that how the witching hour works? Are we consciously interacting with this field of energy at 2:30 in the morning, this theta realm? And as we're tucking into this delta realm, are we interacting again, but in a different way? So the energy is spiraling inwards. When you're going towards delta, you're swimming upstream. You're going against the natural flow. But when you're going towards the denser realms, you're going with the flow. So there's two different moments we hit that theta. One is against the flow, one is with the flow. So basically 10:30 at night, it's time to listen, is what I've come to realize. That's like when it's time to listen to. You're supposed to unpack, get rid of your delusions, pack in with the natural flow of the faucet of creation. 2:30 in the morning, it's almost like when you can hop on a surfboard and ride those waves. Because you can a surfer can't. They like avoid the waves when they're surfing out to the ocean, But then when the wave comes, they hop on their board and they ride it back to the beach. So like while paddling out into delta, tuck, remove delusions, tuck into delta, have a very lucid dream. While you're in that state of lucidity, that's when you can start affecting those waves and you can ride them all the way into wake state. And so that's what I've come to realize is literally it's like the foundation of prayer, because they do it at night and they do it in the morning, and then it goes on. Yeah. It seems like this whole thought process really leads into prayer, which is so interesting to me.
What is